Hello and welcome to Focus. Reynosa is one of the many cities on the US-Mexico border which has been transformed into a lawless zone. Two drug cartels there are battling it out for control of the strategic drug passage into the USA. And in the last 6 months, the fight has become vicious. Local authorities have stopped counting the victims, but according to local journalists, there have been at least 200 so far this year, all from a small city with a population of 400,000. Residents here are so worried about their safety, they've developed their own self-defence mechanisms, using Twitter and other social networks to keep themselves informed and out of harm's way.
Evening in a bus station in Reynosa, dozens of people are fleeing the city. All give the same reason. Why are you leaving the city?
Because it's not safe. Insecurity.
We can't even take our children to school anymore.
The situation has affected you directly.
Yes, I was kidnapped.
Reynosa has been living in fear since the start of the year. Two drug cartels are battling it out on the streets in a merciless war. Caught in the middle are the city's residents. Twitter has become an unlikely safety tool. Since the information flows in real time, it's through these pages Reynosa residents can find out when they can go out and when to stay barricaded at home. Maggie is connected to Twitter around the clock.
I use it to keep in touch with my friends and to keep myself up to date on what's happening in the city. I also use it to keep away from neighborhoods where there's fighting going on.
A formidable tool it is, but the internet is also rife with rumors. Reynosa's inhabitants frequently receive anonymous emails warning them of clashes or showing pictures of corpses. And it's hard to know what to believe. A few weeks ago, one of these emails spread panic throughout the city.
There was such paranoia that nobody went to work.
For 3 days, we didn't take our children to school. All activities ceased until the mayor decided to create an information webpage. They had to publicly come out and say, these are rumors, all is well.
The town hall opened its own Twitter account in February with the aim of warning the population of dangerous situations. The day before, a grenade had been thrown at the police station. The explosion sparked panic, but through Twitter, city officials were able to restore calm.
We said there's no more risk at the crossing of Bravo and Matamoros streets. Proceeding with caution is recommended.
Juan keeps an eye on tweets sent by residents. When a particular message catches his eye, he calls the police to verify the information.
Oh, a warning has just appeared. Attention, attention, this is not a joke. There will be trouble at the Conservative Party rally. So we'll alert the police, which I do with my BlackBerry.
Reynosa is one of Mexico's most dangerous cities. Apart from a few tweets, there's very little left to protect oneself from heavily armed organized crime.
Well, joining me now is longtime Mexico City correspondent Adrian Bard. The report there painted a very grim picture, Adrian. Is life really lived in fear in these places?
Well, life definitely has changed in many Mexican towns, especially the border towns like Reynosa. And it affects daily lives in many ways. There is more police presence, there are more roadblocks, and it's more common now to stop and get questioned, even by police agents.
And Adrian, why do local people feel the need to take their security in their own hands here?
Well, there's still widespread mistrust of police. And it's hard to tell the good guys from the bad guys sometimes, especially amid all the stories about policemen that have sold out to the drug traffickers. Also, sometimes the traffickers are posing as police. They create fake police roadblocks. So there's confusion and a sense that the police don't protect you. But that could be starting to change. Some Mexican police forces have been becoming more professional lately, with a higher degree of education and better salaries. So there's still hope that these institutions can get stronger.
OK, Adrian Bard, thank you very much indeed for your input, our correspondent there from Mexico City. Well, also on the line from the William Mary University in Virginia is Professor George W. Grayson, who's also the author of Mexico, Narco-Violence and a Failed State. Welcome to France24, Professor. The fact that people are taking their security into their own hands is quite an indictment of official law enforcement techniques.
Yes, Mexico has never had efficient, honest police. For 71 years, a single party ruled the country, and that party didn't want to have gendarmes on whom you could rely. They wanted law enforcement officials who would do their bidding, and so it's not a question of transforming the police or reinventing the police. You're starting from scratch because there has never been an efficient police force at the local, state or national level.
And what's your reaction to the fact that people have turned to social networking, Twitter, Facebook, that kind of thing, to stay safe?
It shows the ingenuity of the people, because another element is that newspapers self-censor. That is, you don't, if you're a newspaper publisher, you don't write bad things about the cartels lest you have a bomb thrown into your printing plant or your reporters are killed. And so people are being self-reliant.
So the police sound fairly redundant in a situation like this. What can be done to better police the streets so that people don't have to take matters into their own hands?
It's really difficult to say, because there are so many billions of dollars that perhaps you can manage a drug war, but it's virtually impossible to win it. One of the few bright spots on the horizon is that the Navy is playing an increasingly important role, even in landlocked states that have a lot of drug activity. The Navy has a responsible background in intelligence. It's a smaller organization. It has a reputation for honesty and efficiency, and it cooperates quite well with U.S. authorities. And so there aren't many silver linings, but that's at least a streak of one.
And Professor, can I just ask, do you think this is a thing of the future? Because it seems to work incredibly well, as we saw in our report.
Is what a thing of the future?
Is using social networking sites, Twitter, people taking things into their own hands?
Absolutely. Because on the other side of the fence, the cartels have lookouts. In a city like Reynosa, a major cartel called Los Zetas, and they have gained prominence for beheading their foes. They will have 200 or 300 or 400 youngsters whom they pay just to keep an eye out for police, military, or strangers coming into their neighborhoods. And so the average citizen doesn't know what to do, and so he or she relies on Facebook or Twitter.
Well, it certainly is a fascinating subject. Professor George W. Grayson, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the line from Virginia to talk about the fact that residents in a small city in Mexico are using Twitter and Facebook to keep themselves and their families safe on the streets. That's all we have time for in this edition of Focus. Thanks indeed for watching. Bye-bye.